2 unscripteds in a row, I know I'm as surprised as you are. You see, I thought I was done with this whole Mindseye creator program thing. I did the video that they asked me to do, the reaction to the pre-order trailer that I didn't actually react to. And then they said, cool, we'll send you a game code. And then I didn't hear anything from them. I thought that was it. And then 2 days ago, I get a message saying, hey, do you want to join this live Discord presentation where they showed us this new trailer for Mindseye called an explainer. I thought it was very strange. I've never heard of a game 2 weeks before launch showing you a trailer of what the game is. Pretty baffling. Really caught me off guard. But I was like, why not? I'll sit in. And then they said, hey, do you want to make a video on the explainer? So here we are again doing another Mindseye video. I try not to do these, back to back. I try to, fit in a unscripted, then a scripted, edited thing, longer thing, or, something else. So I apologize for the schedule change. I just want to be really clear. I didn't intend to do 2 Mindseye videos back to back. If you go to the public Discord, you can see the scripted things I'm actually working on, but this came up with kind of a quick deadline, so I had to do 2 back to back. But it is entirely against my will. But I've got some Mindseye to talk about because there's been some revelations in this here explainer trailer. So like in the last video, I'm just going to let this trailer play, and I'm going to talk about some of the things they bring up in here that I got correct, that I was more or less guessing on in my last video, along with the new things they're bringing into it, and that answered some questions, but also given me a lot more, because they have turned this game into something entirely different from what I thought it was, at least based off of this trailer. So in the beginning, we do get to see a little bit more gameplay, and we will throughout this whole trailer, but they do confirm that the story does take place in Red Rock, a desert metropolis, and they state,
where corporate greed and political ambition are in constant friction. In a future that's closer than we think, technology takes care of almost everything.
This is something I brought up in the last video, that it definitely is in the future, but not like super far, where they have AI robots. This is a very AI topic heavy game. I'm not saying this game is full of AI stuff. What I'm saying is they're taking the topic of the problem with AI and pushing it into the story of this game, which is kind of something we're all sick of at the moment, but the story looks cool, so I'm still in on it. And I say this cool because they also confirmed what the story is about a little better, because before I knew it was a mystery, and I knew it was about this guy with the Mindseye implant, but I didn't really know what the mystery was circling around, other than that he has fractured memories. But here in the trailer, they also state,
what starts out as a personal quest as you step into the lead role in a conspiracy involving criminal forces, an unchecked military, and a threat so sinister it endangers the survival of humanity.
That kind of gives us an idea of what this mystery is circling around. It's very vague action movie kind of stuff, the whole criminal forces and unchecked military. This is very like Michael Bay blockbuster movie, just simplistic story that gives you a little bit of intrigue, which is, believe what I stated in the last one. This is what I want. I want something simple with a little bit of mystery to it. I don't care if I figure it out halfway through. I'm just looking for the simplicity here. I'm the guy who played Atomfall and then gave up because I accidentally went to the end at the beginning. I need something to hold my hand sometimes. As they transition from that into more of the gameplay stuff, they say,
your talents at the wheel will be called upon as you find yourself both the hunter and hunted. Dramatic new twists explode onto your screen with a variety of unique situations to solve.
We get some more vehicle gameplay here. Still looks very GTA 5-esque, which, like I said before, isn't terrible. I like GTA 5 driving. No problems there. They bring up this thing about having a variety of unique situations to solve, and later on we'll get into that. They also mention some puzzly stuff. So it's not only going to have GTA gameplay, but also some puzzles in there too, which is kind of exciting for a big Resident Evil guy like myself. But then there's a line in this that really came out of nowhere for me, where they're talking about all these different gameplay situations and end it with the words,
dramatic new twists explode onto your screen with a variety of unique situations to solve.
Don't give up on us!
Involving protecting others, defending assets, and even making space in the stratosphere.
And then it's just a shot of a satellite in space. When has space ever been involved in this game? Suddenly you can go to space. Way out of the realm of where I thought this was going. I thought this was going to be a little more grounded, like a GTA. Apparently, we're going to space. So, be ready to go to space, I guess. So, I guess, point down for me, the guy who said, yeah, there probably won't be jetpacks and rocket cars, even though they'd fit in this universe. And then after the whole space thing that they caught me off guard with, they hit you with the weapon wheel. So we see very GTA 5-esque, but then they say ranging from the conventional to the exotic. Once again, we're in jetpack territory. We getting a railgun again? Are we getting orbital cannons? What is the baseline of this? I did not expect it to go this far. And then they confirmed this bizarreness even farther by saying,
You will reactivate the Mindseye implant, which is fused to a companion drone, allowing you a whole new perspective and a strategic advantage in reconnaissance.
And then they go on to tell you how this drone can help you get to places that you can't normally get. It has a powerful stun feature which can disable enemies. You can also upgrade the drone to make it better with powerful nano grenades. So the grounded early GTA Mafia vibe I thought this game was going on has completely skyrocketed off into space, apparently. Everything is so much more different than what they had explained here. They showed a little bit of this drone gameplay in the previous gameplay trailer, which I assumed was a mission specific thing with this plane or something. You just have a drone remote implanted in your neck, I guess. I don't know. I'm losing the thread here. There was also the messaging of this the entire time that this was a more linear mafia style game that was somehow tied into everywhere. Well, we've seen that now. This game has portals just throughout the world. You can also free roam the world in a free roam mode and find these portals where they have the user generated content system that they call Mindseye's unique content delivery system. So at any time through a menu, or you can find the portals in the world, you can go into these different built missions or game types or whatever they are. They end this kind of section by referring to this as the home of infinite entertainment, which is a huge claim to make. Like you think you're Fortnite or something. Because even though I very much love this style of game and gameplay, the home of infinite entertainment seems like a big sell. Just saying. They later move on into the actual like level building portion of this through what I believe is called Arcadia and not everywhere. It's a offshoot of everywhere. And this is where they also kind of got me on the last video, where I thought this was a more in-depth builder. They say,
No need to be a professional game developer. Simply drop anything you want anywhere you like, be it enemies, vehicles, objects, explosions. We are granting you access to our assets and the superpower to make your own games.
now we've heard this before. Is this in depth as you can make a 20-hour experience? Can you make one level and try to chain them together however you want, or just make a single level? There's a lot here that I don't really know what we're getting into. They do say
Mindseye players get an all-access pass to the hidden world of game creation. At the touch of a button, you can create your own shootouts, chases, races, puzzles, and places. Literally anything. We are passionate about democratizing video game development.
So that clears up my question about what is in these portals. It appears to just be whatever. So does that mean there's going to be a lot of slop and garbage in here? Most certainly. Anytime there's user created content, there is always just a pile of garbage. You'll go into a game and it's like they've always got a name and a picture like they're this really cool thing, and then you get in there and it's like two cars on a circle and you can drive them at each other or off the circle. And that's like these. Look, I've played a lot of GTA created content, and a lot of it is on the level of like the juice in the bottom of your garbage can. You know, the tan liquid. I just really wanted to push the thought of that into your mind today. And then they end it with this content roadmap for 2025, saying what they'll do summer, fall, winter, everything that they'll be putting out. Starting at launch, there'll be a horde mode, combat missions, races, checkpoint races, and drone races before going into these later content packs, which involves a special collaboration, community updates, and new missions in the summer. The fall will bring new single-player modes, multiplayer, and new missions, which was way out of the realm of things. I did not expect this game to have a multiplayer. They have been selling this as a single-player experience the entire time. So the drop of multiplayer on me really caught me off guard. Extra missions and new pack. Winter, they're doing another special collaboration, free roam updates, new missions, the Major Adventure Starstream universe. space again, I think. Extra missions and new pack. So there's a lot of things that they were selling this game as that are not true here. We're seeing that this says there is multiplayer and there is free roam. This game was sold as a linear story based non free roam game. Now there is a full mode dedicated to free roam and a multiplayer mode. So that raises some flags. But while my flag is raised for a minute, I want to go to somewhere else that also raised my flag. After my video came out, in my recommended tab, a video from Mr. Matty Plays popped up saying that he got to preview Mindseye. That's right. People that are way more important than me actually got to preview this thing, other than, be in my little live meeting about the trailer. Matty said that this whole preview was done through streaming, which is kind of common now. Quite a few game previews will be done through a streaming service so that you can see everything and you're not actually downloading anything to your machine. So things don't leak or spread. But they didn't let anyone play this. This was a hands-off preview where they played through the game. Some of his red flags were texture pop-in. There was a drone that was really bugging out, which I'm assuming is the drone that is attached to the player's neck that you can control. He said the AI seemed kind of dumb and not well tuned. Like there was a part, he said in the demo, that they had to turn on invincibility to make it past it instead of fighting it through because they could have died during it and they didn't want to die during the preview. These are all big red flags. And this came out before the thing that I saw. But there was no information on whether or not this was an older build and these things have currently been patched or if they will be patched soon. Are these getting fixed in a day one patch? They told him that they were aware of the drone issue. And these aren't things that are only coming from Mr. Matty. I just singled him out because he was the video that popped up in my recommended. There was also a video from Spawnwave that went over this and talked about kind of the same issues being seen in Mindseye. But I was not a part of these previews, so I can neither confirm nor deny that any of these things are here. According to a news story that's going around today, people have been paid to say these bad things. I've seen both Maddie and Spawnwave pop around the YouTube universe for quite a while. I've never known them to be the kind of people to be paid to say bad things about a game. They were also moderately positive on the game as well. They didn't say that this was 100% a deal breaker. They were just saying this game could probably use a little polish, which is common that a lot of games get pushed out of the door before they're completely polished. So I think that's where I'm going to wrap this thing up. I've kind of given you all the information. It sounds like I left a bunch of bad stuff at the end and a lot of confusion. That's because I'm confused. I don't know if I'm more confused now that I've seen the explainer, but boy am I confused. Mainly at the marketing. I think this is going to be an okay game. I think it's going to be an enjoyable experience. If anything, it's going to play okay, because it appears to just be GTA 5's gameplay lifted and put here. And if the game itself isn't that great, there is without a doubt going to be someone that really loves this creation engine and is going to make some cool stuff. Look at the new Starfield mod DLC thing that just came out, or Fallout London. Even if a developer makes a garbage game, the community will make it good if somebody tries it. And this everywhere creation thing seems to be like a kind of in-depth thing. So I think somebody's going to get deep into it. So I don't know if that swayed you left or right or center or wherever you're going on Mindseye, but I'm certainly going to play through it, and maybe I'll do a review video on it when I'm done, just to kind of wrap a bow on this thing. Of course, if you want to see me do anything else, you can stop by the streams at 9ish p.m. Central every Friday night. Watch me play Tony Hawk games. You can hit that old subscribe button down there so you can see the other videos I do and when I finally put out a scripted one. And join the Blaster Goblin public Discord. Hang out with me. Help me work on these big, long scripted videos. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.